buy these powerful Yu-Gi-Oh cards before they skyrocket in price. Today, Big Dog, Chat, and I will be talking about some cards that you need to seriously consider for the Supreme Darkness format. And of course, if you want to jump into the fun before everyone knows, you can catch us on stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch. I can't really tell you the time because I might be hired by the time this video comes out, but I'll keep you updated on that information. I also put these videos on my Patreon a little bit early as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors. Let's go ahead and jump on in. I know you guys hear it, the shh, boom. I hear it in my head every single time, chat. Buy these powerful Yu-Gi-Oh cards before my local police department assaults me. I'm sorry, you might have to go back and like match the thing in there or whatever, but that's way too funny to give up, right? What's going on with ya, Big Dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Supreme Darkness has a lot of new goodies for us and a ton of strategies that are still underexplored. In today's video, I'm trying to get you guys ahead of the curve on some trends and some cards that players are going to be looking at. And if you ever wanted to know, Callie, what gives you the credentials to say this? Well, I mean, I did have a list, but I was right about all the White Forest cards, the Sinful Spoils Deception, the Primite Lordly Low, so many other cards in between. I'm not saying that I am always 1000% right, Big Dogs. I'm telling you I'm more right than I am wrong. And if you're using my TCG player link down below in the description, then you're helping Big Dog out. So I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and start off with some of the big things that are happening inside of Supreme Darkness and what players are looking for because of it. When Supreme Darkness comes around, a lot of meta players are... When Supreme Darkness comes around, the sense is that Yugioh will be hands down the best deck in the game. I mean, it already is getting Eclipse Twin Shadow, but it's also getting a TCG exclusive, the Mitsurugi cards. This deck is on a one-way ticket warpath to destroying the meta. But fortunately enough, there is a soft counter. To be honest, a broken clock is right twice the day. Look, Berserker, you check yourself before you wreck yourself, Buster. Some counters that people are looking at to be able to stop the Yugioh strategy are Goblin Biker cards. Goblin Biker as a Yu-Gi-Oh strategy has not been proven successful, though Goblin Biker cards are still really good at addressing the situation. One important card is Goblin Biker Grand Entrance. This secret rare allows you to be able to add a Goblin Biker from your deck to your hand, but also has a secret effect of detaching a material from your opponent's cards. Bro is inventing cards. I'm not inventing cards. Goblin Biker Grand Entrance is a card. A lot of people are searching this card through Goblin Biker Doug Charger, which can detach another material off of your opponent's cards and essentially get you 2 free bodies to your side of the field before you could even start your combo. It's, in fact, in my opinion, genius. Goblin Biker may not be successful as a complete engine, but I think that these 2 cards are something you should look into before they skyrocket in price. A free rank 3 engine has never felt bad, especially if you lead off with Doug Charger. We should bike our way into the next card. No, Berserker! When you get clapped up by Yugioh and everybody else is on a Goblin Biker engine, you'll finally understand what I'm saying. But let's move on to the next card. Well, since you guys don't like the Goblin Biker engine, let me know of some cards that you think we should be buying. Do I see an Ashen card on the rise? All right, Ultron, you kind of got us here. So a lot of players are speculating that Ashen is going to be a good deck. I am here to burst your bubble. Ashen's trash. Cheeks. Doo-doo water. This strategy is not a good strategy, at least right now, but there is a card that is coming out in Alliance Insight, Chaotic Elements, which also may be a counter to Yugioh. What Chaotic Elements does is that it allows you to be able to add 1 level 5 or higher light or dark pyro or aqua monster from your deck to your hand. It can add you cards like Danger Nessie, but it also can add you Ashen monsters. Its second effect that says if your opponent controls a light or dark pyro or aqua monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 monster your opponent controls, and take control of it. The good thing about this is that this card searches Vados, which we already thought was a good hand trap, a card that you should look into again, but also it allows you to be able to take your opponent's Yugioh detonator or force them to use detonator to blow up itself. Now, this card is not going to have any real hype until at least Alliance Insight. I like the fact that Vados can check field spells and Chaotic Elements can check detonator. I'm not sure if there's any realness to it, but it is a counter. Now, there is another card that I think is going to be really good, not only against Yugioh, but also crazy against Malice. Players are starting to pick up on it. I think that Forbidden Chalice is actually ridiculous. Like, hear me out, guys. A lot of times people think that Forbidden Chalice is a worse Infinite Impermanence. There are some restrictions to Infinite Impermanence that Chalice gets over. The main restriction is that Infinite Impermanence can only be activated from your hand if you control no cards. Chalice can be activated at any given time and during the damage step. It actually does come up. A lot of times when you're going against the Malice matchup, they won't summon their White Binder from the graveyard until you commit cards to your side of the field. A trusty old Forbidden Chalice allows you to be able to stop the White Binder from banishing cards in either player's graveyard, but also can be used to stop other cards that are really good. It's good against Yugioh Detonator, and to be honest, the only thing that this card really isn't great against is Fiendsmith Desiree when it can't be targeted. Negations at a premium with cards like Effect Veiler and Ghost Mourner not really being good. I think Chalice is a perfect board breaker card that allows you to be able to play going first and second. It's just so versatile. But if you guys wanted another reason to buy Forbidden Chalices, there's your reason. Also, with Forbidden Chalice, you might want to just stick to like the ultis. I think Gradle is a good tech this format. Closer. Stop. You're hurting the integrity, buddy. You're hurting the integrity. Gradle yourself into a cradle and gray yourself out before you get into a grave, though. Battle Fader's a good tech too. No, stop. All right, you guys are not cooking. We using Chalice in this day and age? Yes, it's a good card. I mean, I guess we all have opportunities to cope. Now, as you guys should know, Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2025 is all about engines. We've seen the Bestial engine dominate over the Fiendsmith engine, and then we've seen other engines in between be really, really good, like the Kashtira engine. But those aren't the only engines in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are ridiculously busted. What I personally think is really good coming into the next format will be the Dogmatica engine. Now, the Dogmatica engine is almost like a mixture of the Kashtira engine. Remember, Kashtira Unicorn can rip cards from the opponent's extra deck? Well, Dogmatica Maximus may not get that exact same effect. In the right situation, it can really put your opponent in a bad spot. Ladir Servant allows you to be able to search Dogmatica Maximus, and sending the right cards from the extra deck to the graveyard can get you draws, searches, negations, interruptions, just about everything that you need. I think that the Dogmatica package is starting to go up because players are starting to realize that for some of the strategies, your extra deck is a little bit too important. Dogmatica plus Duality equals Dragoon TDE. Bro, we can tell you a Master Duel player. You gooned, but he's right. Me personally, I just noticed engines like that popping up, and I've also noticed that players are going to start playing the Artifact engine. I'm not a big fan of using Artifact Dagda to be able to technically search Artifact Lancia, and then the new Abeoku, the Lightless Shadow, works like Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, allowing you to destroy it on your opponent's turn. I don't think that this trend is great. Divine Carnate? Ultron, you think Divine Carnate Kira Carnate? The level 1 fire girl. I'm not saying that the card can't be good, but I'm saying that if there was any card that deserved a quarter century secret rare, it would be this one. And to be honest with you guys, most cards that are Starlight rare become quarter century secret rare. So I would probably stay away from this card, to be honest. Maybe the ultimate rares, but other than that, I'm not sure. Divine Carnate is really good for getting over cards like Yugioh Detonator. A lot of the Malice cards do trigger. Fiendsmith cards do trigger. There's tons of situations where this card is crazy, but buying it, oh man, you're gonna have to make that risk. I genuinely think that this is one of those cards that may be or should be reprinted in quarter century Stampede, but that doesn't guarantee that the card will be reprinted. So yeah. Some other cards that you guys should be looking at. Shout out to my man's Berserker. I talked about EMP Meow Mine a couple of months, and he's been using it in his Malice deck. I'm not sure if that's the time where EMP Meow Mine would go up in price. Like, this card's crazy. EMP says if a Link monster is on the field or in either graveyard, it's a free special summon. Keep that in mind. If a Link 2 monster you control is sent to the graveyard or banished, like if you use SP Little Knight, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. That card is really, really good, and it's already $4. I remember when these cards were 50 cents each, and then we were picking them up. EMP Meow Mine is good for Malice or Argo Stars, which is coming out in Supreme Darkness. These are definitely cards that I would be picking up personally, just because of its effect is just so good. Like, it just gets overlooked because that time it came out wasn't its time, but eventually there's gonna be one of those $10 ultra rares. Buy all of your quarter century cards right now from Bonanza because they're about to receive a huge spike. They're out of circulation and players are going to be looking for these cards. cards. I wholeheartedly agree. We've already seen stuff like Dragon Rulers go up in price. There's nothing stopping cards like Caius or Thunder King Ryo for Edison players, or Triple Tactics Thrust to Sky Striker Mobilize Engage and stuff like that from going up too. Punks? Oh yeah, the new stuff. In a later set, we are going to be getting support for Punks and Orchist and Dragon Maid. Only one of the three I think is worth buying. I think you should buy Punk Foxy Tune because that card's stupid cheap right now. To be on the safe side, I wouldn't buy the collector's rares, I would buy the QCRs. And I would also buy Emergency Teleport because that card has already been reprinted. For both Orchist and Dragon Maid, I don't know about all that. And lastly, this is another call to action, probably one of the last call of actions for you guys to buy the Silhouette Rabbit. The card that sets trap monsters to your side of the field. The card that Konami is obviously making support for trap monsters. If you guys want a comparison, this is reinforcement of the army for trap monsters. I don't really know what else to say about it. The card's crazy. And that's pretty much all I have for cards that you should buy before they skyrocket in price, guys. I think that this is a good collection of cards. And again, if you're buying on TCG Player, make sure you're using my TCG Player link. It helps me out a lot as a creator. Speaking about buying, what about the Raven Wing sleeves? Oh my God, big dog. Paid promotion. Not really a paid promotion, guys, but if you guys are buying these Yu-Gi-Oh cards and you want to protect them in the premium sleeve, then you can go to TheCaliEffect.com to pick up my brand of sleeves. I'm working on the next and final version, so I've discounted all of the sleeves that I have right now. Go ahead and try the best sleeve in the entire card game for the low. We even have bundle deals for you guys too. As always, guys, thank you so much for supporting. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Boom.